Club members, it is February and we have another selection of amazing champagnes for you. This month we're looking at ancestral know-how. Your knowledge coming down from your family, the human hand, knowledge of your terroir, how to make wine, but what the current generation are doing with that knowledge. Sometimes we take a little element of our parents, a little element of our grandparents or our great-grandparents, if we're lucky enough to have that history going so far back. But then also taking on what the winemaker has learned in wine school or through his vision or her vision of the current, putting it together in a new release that reflects them. And we've got two champagnes which are representative of the current ancestors of two fabulous houses. We're looking at houses that have never been in Australia before. Again, so exciting for us, and they are both sublime. They're both really exciting wines. We've got Maxime Blin from Trigny, and we've got Collard-Picard. Both of them very interesting, very different wines, but showing us generational know-how and what the current generation is doing with that knowledge in a slightly more modern way. Poetic that it is February, and of course it's Valentine's Day in a couple of weeks, and we are featuring the Champagne House Maxime Blin, which for me has a real romantic notion to it. We've got three generations and we've got relationships at the core every time. The house founded in 1947 west of Reims in a vineyard called Trigny. The soil composition here is more sandy, it's more clay, it's not pure chalk, so you get a slightly different mouthfeel and composition on the wine. The house founded originally by the first lovers Juliette and Robert, and then taking over from Gilles and Madeleine, and now we have the current winemakers, Maxime and Claire. And for me, Maxime and Claire bring so much passion and so much love and so much precision. And what I love about the wine for this month, Temporelle #1, it is their first release of a fully certified biodynamic and organic cuvée from the house. It was an experiment. It was an experiment made of love and passion, and boy, did it pay off. So about the house, Trigny, as I said, we've got three different grape varietals grown within the vineyards. They've got a classic line of cuvées, but this is the first time that they are experimenting with biodynamics and organics. Claire came into the business from another champagne family, and Maxime took over in 2005 after completing his studies. He brings this notion of romance to the wines, you know, and a real passion for the environment, a passion for sustainability, a real care and know-how in his viticulture. So he's certainly taking his ancestral know-how, but he's giving it a really modern approach. This cuvée was a test, and the test has paid off, and it's very exciting now to see where they go from here. So here we have it, Temporelle 1, first time for the house, first time in Australia. We're really pleased to present it to you. When you turn the bottle of champagne around and you see two little stamps here, the AB, the Demeter symbol, is representing that it's certified biodynamic, working to the system of Rudolf Steiner, considering the wine in the ecosystem of the universe, working with the rise and fall of the sun and the moons, and of course, we've got organic, so abstaining from the use of anything artificial in the winery or in the winemaking process, so very natural wines. Composition of the wine, we have 60% Pinot Noir as the base, and we've got the balance of 20% being Chardonnay, 20% being Pinot Meunier. It is, of course, 2 years in the cellar. It's an extra brut, only 2 grams dosage. And we've got all wine coming from the base year of 2019. This is the first time that they've started with a completely organic treatment, and then it's released in 2021, so a very short aging period. When you're moving towards biodynamics and organics, of course, it's a big change in what you've done previously. And I tend to see that the wines have more freshness, fresh, bright, clean. They have more focus. This wine in particular, 2 grams, very, very light on the dosage, has a real earthiness to it, but it's very, very expressive. You get orchard fruit, you get pear, you get apple, you get a roundness, but it is beautifully balanced. It's got a lovely aromatic property. There is a mix of stainless steel. In the aging of the base wines, they've got some cask and they've got some foudre. Every plot harvested by hand, pressed gently in their Collard press, blended together, put into the cellar, down for 2 years and released. So exciting to see Maxime and Claire working together side by side, both coming from 2 winemaking families, both taking a little bit of knowledge and know-how from their studies and also their ancestors, and producing something that's never been done for the house before. The label's new, the wine name is new, first time in Australia, and amazing to see where these guys are going to go in the future. The next champagne is amazing. I'm very excited to see this house in Australia. We have the house, the Maison of Collard-Picard. So the 2 families have got a lot of history in the region, but coming down, 1996 is when the house formed together under Olivier Collard and Caroline Picard. Now, Olivier has got fruit coming from the Valley de la Marne. So of course, when we're in the Valley de la Marne, classically, it produces beautiful Pinot Meunier. And we have the pedigree of the Picard terroir in the Côte de Blanc. Not just anywhere in the Côte de Blanc, we have Chardonnay coming from Le Mesnil-sur-Oger. This is as good as it gets. This is rockstar material. It's prized vineyard fruit. So we're marrying 2 exceptional families with 2 exceptional parcels within great terroir. And this particular champagne is an explosion of both of these incredible terroirs in such a great wine. But I'm coming back to that in a minute. We've got 4 generations of know-how now, and these 2 families, their history actually starts back in the region as early as 1889. So we've got a lot of ancestral know-how coming down the line on both sides and finally coming together with the marriage of Olivier and Caroline. This wine, oh, amazing. Now, every now and then I'll open a bottle and I'll put my nose in something and I'll just have a minute of, oh, incredible. Oh, delish. What a cracker. This, for you connoisseurs, you are very lucky this month. And if you aren't a connoisseur, try and get your hands on this bottle because it's exceptional and it's imported specifically for you this month. Classic bottle shape. Take note, when you unwrap the top of the mousselet and you see this square neck at the top, it means that the champagne has been aged under cork since the beginning of its life. Now, not all champagne is aged under cork from the beginning. Most champagnes undergo secondary fermentation. So we put the yeast and sugar back in the bottle, put a stainless steel cap on the bottle, put it back down into the cellar, and wait for it to undergo the secondary fermentation. We put a stainless steel cap on because when we're riddling, when we're rocking the bottle from side to side to get the yeast in the neck, and we freeze it and expel that pellet of yeast, it's done by a machine. If it's been aging under the cork and a graph, which is the old way of doing things, each of these bottles needs to be opened by hand. So you know it's something very special. Collard-Picard, the cuvée that we've got for you is the Prestige. So it's their top range coming out. It is an extra brut. We've got 4 grams of sugar in the wine. We're leading with Chardonnay, and boy does it sing. So we've got 50% Grand Cru Chardonnay in the wine, 25% Pinot Noir, 25% Pinot Meunier, exceptional fruit. Now this is interesting. We've got 8 years of base wines. We've then aged the base wines from 12 to 15 months in a barrel. We've held back malolactic fermentation, so no malo. Malo is where we convert that tart lactic acid into creamier, softer acid like you find in milk and dairy. We've held that back. So beautiful acid line, which gives you longer aging potential in the wine. And then just shy of 5 years in the cellar. So we've got significant time, and boy, is the wine superb. 2 things. It's your signature of quality. So the smaller the protein of the wine changes, the smaller the bubble, you know it's been in the cellar for a longer period of time. That's the first clue that we've got serious age. The second clue is that tertiary characteristic on the nose. You've got this really lovely, creamy brioche almond note, really developed characteristics, and it's silky smooth on the palate. My camera guy hates it when I take a sip of wine during filming, but it's so good. That's a great champagne. It's still got some acidity, which is lovely. So it's still got a bit of zip, a bit of zing because we've held back the malic, but it's got this lovely roundness, creaminess, softness, and a supple approach on the palate. Exceptional wine for you connoisseurs and you lovers. You better get onto this. It'll be available on Emperor, but only a few bottles remaining. It's something worth trying. So this month we're looking at ancestral know-how. We're looking at how generational knowledge comes down the line. We're looking at how vineyards are passed from father to son and son to daughter, and what our winemakers do with the know-how, but also with their modern touch. Two amazing champagnes. This is what the Emperor Champagne Club is all about. It's bringing you champagnes that have never been in Australia before. It's bringing you champagnes that we're excited to taste. I'm excited to taste. I hope you love them too. Two amazing houses, Maxime Blin and their brand new first release, first biodynamic organic release of the house. Congratulations on Temporelle 1, and the amazing champagne of Collard-Picard, merging two houses together, two exceptional cuvee parcels, and using a little bit of knowledge from their parents and their grandparents and their great-grandparents with what they know today. I hope you enjoyed the champagnes as much as I did, because I thought they were exceptional. They're very different, but they're both amazing. I look forward to seeing you next month. And of course, if you're in one tier or the other, make sure that you try both wines. You're going to love them. See you on the next episode. It's poetic that we're featuring Maxime Blin. You gonna count me in? I don't need you anymore.
Alright, cool. You count me in. Okay,
3,
cool.
2, 1, action.
Ouch.
I don't need you anymore.
Action.
Is that my turn? Just breaking into some Sher. Okay. And I think it's poetic that we're featuring Maxime Blin. I just want to say it with a softer N. I'm going to go one more time.
Blin.
Blin. Are you going to count me in?
I'm gonna.
I'll count you in.